Well, there it is. Looks like I've been given Orc in this 1 versus 4 insane computer situation. There's no 5-player maps for the Frozen Throne. Did you know that? Yeah, apparently not. But I saw this map as the 6-player option, and I was like, oh, damn, that looks cool. And the last time you saw this map was me playing a free-for-all versus a map hacker that has an epic ending. And I won't say any more than that, but basically it's something free-for-all in Underhall. Look it up, WTiiWarcraft, YouTube, Underhall, something like that. You'll probably come across it. I have confidence you can do it. So, really cool game. We're going to basically explain how to beat versus insane computers. So, be it 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, essentially the tricks of the trade. Now, there's different ways to do this. You can do like funny Warcraft freeway, where you might utilize a lot more towers or something, but I'm going to try to do it through manipulation of AI and aggression, because it's more my preferred playstyle. So, we're going to go with Torrent Chieftain Headhunters. Main reason I'm going with that is I feel like it's going to be better for creeping harder spots. But the faster you can get towards air units, probably the better, because you'll get more control. I'll just play the thingy.
Request play against multiple insane computer, at least 2 as random. Please explain some tips in playing against computer insane.
Yep.
Bonus challenge, you choose how many you want to versus against.
So you got to look at it.
2, I donate extra $2, beat 3 extra $5, beat 4 $10.
Got to look at it from the point of view of trying to get as much out of it as you can. So you want to power up your heroes, you want to get expansions, so that's just surplus gold, which is going to help feed you to destroy the opponents in the first place, or at least be backup resources in case things go wrong. So you're looking at the map for, say, for example, expansions. There's one here. If there's no expansion, then you just tech up and then try to take out one of the computers, and then you can use tier 3, tier 2 to expand in their spot. So Torrent Chieftain, Headhunter to begin with, and I don't know the creeps very well on this map, but we'll just do sort of like green spot, and then open up the expansion. Look for a shredder. Shredder is basically like unlimited lumber. So if we don't have a shredder, then we're just going to have to overdo it on the peons. I'm not really seeing the option, so that's a shame that we don't have that. But if we don't, we don't. I can live on. I don't have to have the shredder. It's just darn nice if you do. So we've got, okay, in the middle, which is going to be much clunkier to get to, judging by the looks of it. Watch out, dog! Gonna tech up as well. But that's mostly because I'm Orc. If I was human, I might stay tier 1 until I've got my expansion. But Orc is, they don't have lumber issues like human do, so I can just tech up and I'll have lumber for the expansion, no problem, by the time I go to do it. I'm going to have a little look and see what the expansion is right now, whilst I'm finishing off the rest of this creep camp. Just a little scouty scout, keep getting your headhunters, you're pushing up to 40. It's a really hard creep camp, but it's doable with enough range units. Unfortunately, 2 to 3 probably isn't worth. You can probably do it with 2 to 3 units, but you're gonna like be doing it for ages. You've got to think about time value. So time is important. The trick with this map, I think, is to get going fast on the expansion. It's pretty big, so it's hard to harass the computers because they're so far away. But it doesn't stop the computers from all beelining to your base at some point, which might happen. So we'll just have to take it as we go. Saving up my mana for the orange creep camp now, because I don't need it. Now I've got a few more headhunters. Gonna get an upgrade for damage, actually, because that will work with Wind Riders as well. I'm thinking about whether I go another burrow or just get the tech. It's difficult because I could go for the burrow right now. I'm fighting myself whether I should do it or just go out to 30 food and then when that's done, tech, because you're going to get your food supply from the expansion. I am fighting myself. I don't know the true answer, but we're going to do this anyway. Let's not get the burrow for now. So we're going to try to pull this creep camp a little bit if we can, and then aggro there, so that'll pull the rest of them in, take care of those. I can't war stomp much here though, actually, so war stomp is kind of redundant. We've got aura here. Take the expansion when you can. Damn, magic immune units. You want to kill the golem, he does a lot of damage. We'll just save the war stomp for now. Okay. That slow is obnoxious, but it's okay. We're done. So, I might use one illusion just to get some information, find out how hard it is to get over here. Because judging by the map, it doesn't look super easy, but you never know, I might get there quicker than I'm expecting. It's a lot of bridges and stuff. But the quicker I can get, I'm going to tech. Oh yeah, I'm going to need a burrow anyway to get the shredder. Let's have a look. That's another annoying rock golem camp. Those are my favourites. Let's just go and clear this. Gonna get the upgrade for headhunters. You can see shredder would be really nice because I'm already getting really sparse on trees actually. Damn. This map is really spread out. So I don't think there's an opponent here because I would have seen something if there was. We can try to finish off the rest of the middle actually whilst we're here. Use one creep to pull. It's a big old boy though. But from maximum distance, we might get away with this. I'm loving how my spells have absolutely no use here. Gonna lose that guy because he's really aggressive. And go for my second hero in a moment. Oh, this isn't worth it. I'm gonna hide. Actually, I'm gonna get that shredder. Can still possibly do this, but it's obviously clunky. Go for my second hero soon. It's a shame I couldn't keep the aggro there. Oof, that's quite a distance to carry. So try pull this. Bring you back. Oof. Attack unit so it doesn't get hit during that. Oh, never mind. Good times. This is not something I should be doing, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm stubborn. And we're going to transition into mass wyverns. We're not going to go into headhunters.
What you want me to do? I stand
Oh, computers there. Ooh. Now you're getting spicy. I'm going to keep the aura just for a moment by moving him. Because you got cloaked and you lose the aura.
Yes, chieftain. Upgrade complete. For my ancestors. An excellent plan. An excellent.
Can't even tank very easily with that guy. Get your Shadow Hunter.
Where you want me go? Who you want me kill? What would you ask of me? Done. Where you want me to?
I'm playing with fire here right now.
For my ancestors. What you want me to?
Oh, one more hit. Come on. You can do it, buddy. More wyverns. You're going to basically be kind of lazy here and just go mass air. It's hard to explain whilst I'm doing this because this is like way above my pay grade. But I'm almost done. Yep, those storm bolts are a lot of fun. I appreciate all those storm bolts you have for me. Gonna come over, get the items, load up. This is fun. Gotta wait. We're gonna get upgrades for wyverns, and then we're just gonna try to take out an enemy base. Essentially, the quicker you can take out one computer base, the better, because you're gonna keep them distracted from going to your main base. Also, I forgot to fill up my expansion. Don't forget to do that. Take your peasants, replace with the shredder. Boom, 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 boom. And I did get really screwed with the characters in this map. Like, everything is freaking immune to spells and throws boulders all the time. I mean, that's like, that's the dream that is right there. Immunity to spells and just constantly stuns. What a lovely day. We'll get third hero. Probably something like Panda or Goblin Rockets. I go Goblin Rockets. Tinker's like super good. Engraved Scale, so that's one of the more powerful summons items, but it's still trash. for what I had to just go through to get there. You can go Bat Riders, by the way, but I'm going to go Wyverns because I can feed off killing the computer more easily. Boom! I finally get to use my spell. So what you want to do is keep the computer on the low levels as much as possible and basically keep yourself nice and high. So you do that by picking off their units when it's valuable and try not to lose a single thing. Because that way they don't get anything for it. And you are going to have a brilliant time. Pick off their heroes as well. So the more you pick off their heroes, the lower the level they are going to be throughout the game. No. Oh yeah, we're doing this, are we? Okay. Alright, time to go! So basically reposition everything. Get ready to push above 50 food. We've antagonized the computer. You want to keep the computer on the move. Always away from your base if you can. This is why having multiple expansions is helpful. So we can clear out this spot. I'm going to be a bit greedy. Just wait a little bit longer. Try to get to... Oh wow, you're all the way over here. I mean, what is with the lumber situation on this map? Jeez. It's not funny. Right, anyway. I'm going to get rid of this Cloak of Shadows because it's actually consistently moving the aura. Wow! We're just going to do it like that, are we? Damn. What the fuck? They aggroed like before I even got there. This is a pretty hard camp, but it should be good experience. Anyway, whilst we're doing that, we're going to get Tinker, pull him over quickly, push on the Wyverns, make sure you got your upgrades ticking along. So this is a future expansion we can particularly have. Oh, that reminds me, I'm going to get the Tinker to go get a fast expansion. I think I lost a Wyvern there, that's pretty unfortunate. But I think objectively doing the job is more important here, which is clearing this as fast as possible. Alright, Amulet of Spell Shield is actually a pretty good item versus computer. So pick up items, all the good stuff. Come on over, scroll the speed just so you can get over here quicker for another expansion. And then we're going to start hitting bases. Once we start that train, you got to keep it moving. And the computer's going to consistently keep coming back and back to fight you. So you got to be aware that once you start that train, it's never going to stop. It's never going to leave the station. Or stop at the station. Whatever you want to arguably call it. So I've got level 2 healing wave just for the support. I'm going to go with my expansion down here. So it's going to be like, that is like super secured. Right, here we go. So we know computer is over here. We don't like undead bases. They suck. But it's the nearest and dearest base I have available to me. So essentially what you're doing versus computer is you're keeping them distracted, you're keeping them low, you're keeping yourself high, and you're keeping them on the run. At this stage you're going to keep them on the run. So I've done a bit of creeping, I've got a few expansions, I'm looking quite good. I've not let the computer get hold of me. Hang on. Blimey, what's he doing? Someone wants to buy my car for some reason. What the heck? Jeez, that's a weird one. I don't know how to handle that. I'll be back in a moment. I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah, he's going to pick it up. He's going to take it. And that's he basically scraps cars. He goes around, obviously, looking for scrap cars or something. And or cars that look like scrap. And obviously my car looks like trash. So he thought, well, that's a scrap car. Call on the door and then basically asks if he can take it to move it over to another place to sell it. And my car is trash. Literal trash. Yeah, he'll probably get more than 300, obviously. That's the whole point. He said he would get more. But I'm not going to fight him on or anything like that. Anyway, I've got to get back into whatever the heck is going on here. That was such a surreal moment there. It's literally just someone turns up and it's like, I'm going to buy your car. How often does that happen? Oh, it's nice to keep everything inside of one hotkey group, by the way. And what I'm doing here is I'm feeding off the computer. So we've pulled them back. You can see that they would have town portaled because there's more than one undead player there. So you're just picking off what you can because they're going to feed you essentially. But don't get too deep into any fight. Just remember to run. Oh shit. Right, okay, that's harder now. Frostworm just completely messed that up. Yeah, if you get slowed like that, you've got to back off. It's game over. Frostworm's going to win. So having speed scrolls is really useful. I did use mine earlier though. Load up on items, particularly town portals. Yep, that's very useful, Mr. Shredder. Standing there blocking me. I appreciate that. And off we go. Let's go attack left-hand side. We know there'll be a computer there. Fill up on this gold mine. Keep getting your upgrades. Well, you've got 3 damage upgrades. So you can get casters, like Spirit Witch Doctor is going to be super useful for map vision on how to manipulate the computer. So stuff like that. Orc's got a lot of options. Super flexible, super awesome. But it's mainly the mass air. So whatever... Oh, it's another undead. Bloody hell. Ugh. I hear the town portals coming off. Undead bases are so fun. Can I go right here? I can. We're going to get webbed here, so I'm going to hex that. And we're going to speed scroll in a moment. Just so we can get this train moving quicker. Up to essentially a nicer base, like a Night Elf base at the top. Don't worry too much about losing, like, headhunters. That's why you go air, because air's got flexibility. The ground units are clunky. They get picked off super easily. If there was an item that I missed, then it's going to stay missed, to be honest. My mind is in a different place now. Pick off... Oh, that's not worth it. Freaking mountain giant. Yeah, pick off units otherwise. Like, you got glade throwers just sitting here. Town portals coming in... Back. Mass armies. So this is kind of scary. The map... Yeah, there are options to move around on the map at least. So we've got that. I'm going to put a shop here as a backup so I can buy stuff. Buy pies. The expansion doesn't look like fun to kill. So we've got 2 Knights and 2 Undead, which is a bit unfortunate because Human would have been nice because Human is super easy to kill, as you know. Or Orc as well. Human and Orc peons, super easy to pick off. Night Elf and Undead a bit trickier to deal with. So you can see they're not even town portaling anymore, so we can actually try to go for the main. And if it doesn't work, then just town portal. You can kill the wisps, they come to repair. We're leveling up. Possibly the aura now at this point. Just pick off what you can. If you get a computer base, you're basically laughing. So bats will allow you to do this, but you can also do this with wyvern, and wyverns will actually allow you to hit units and kill units, pick units off. If you go bats, you won't have that luxury so much. They're getting closer now. Gonna pick this off and then TP out. So once you've got that going, it really messes the computer up because they don't really rebuild very well. Always be picking up speed scrolls. I think I'll just sell this. Actually, no, we can keep it for the lols, but you don't really want that item. It doesn't do much for you. And get your witch doctors over time so you can get more fission. You've basically won the game at this point. Unless the computer somehow does like a super hard all-in on one of your main bases, or anything really. You basically have the winner's advantage, which is the computer is on the run, they've run out of town portals, they're all headless, they don't know what they're doing, and you can pick off what you like. This is a worst case scenario though, in the sense that they're 2 undeads, like... Yeah. It's like, please, I'm dead. That's so lame. Night Elf's coming in. He's going to be super easy. He's literally just going to suicide now. So we're going to take all of that before anyone else comes in. Computer's not the brightest, so you pick off what you can. Back off a little bit and readjust to what's happening. Pick units off again. Get over here. Heal up your juice. Make sure you got your heals going off. Oh, hello, TP. Yeah, you can get flanked like that. You definitely just have to respond to it immediately, otherwise you will lose. And then we're going to move over to the top right. I'm going to get some vision on this left-hand side. My Witch Doctor. Computer's getting a bit precarious. Don't need that many in the gold mine. If you got a shredder, you can pull him over wherever the lumber is, but otherwise you should be okay. Computer's probably going to want to respond. They're going to know. They're going to town portal over here. So it's a bit harder to kill these computers because they're undead. If they was human or orc, like I say, I'll pick them off without any problem. But this is going to be a much more sort of longer experience. There's a town portal coming in already. Sentry wall coming very handy there. Night Elf is the one that's using the town portals because the undead's TP'd earlier. Bear in mind that when you fight this, you're going to be getting flanked from the left-hand side and stuff like that. You've got to be aware of your spatial positions. Pick off the hero, because then that hero has to come back, and it's going to be weaker for it. They got a spicy bit of damage though. Oh my god.
What you got? I'm all geared up.
Got no heals for the Tinker.
Systems go.
Oh, this looks bad. No, they're going to focus my Tinker. I couldn't heal him. I was constantly looking on for mana. But I didn't have the mana available, which is a real shame. So in that case, I'm going to go buy myself some mana pots so I don't have that issue again. Stay at 80 food, by the way, for as long as you can, because going above 80 food is really, really inefficient. Get your Witch Doctors to do their thing. Which is spread the good word. I'm going to get rid of that, even though it's a cool item. I just need to keep moving right now. I don't want to get distracted. So left-hand side. So you're basically moving left to right to left. You're basically going essentially the opposite of where they came from, where you were, where they were. Because that way it keeps the computer sort of like all over the place. And they can't group up so easily against you. More free kills. Be careful with what's coming, because that was a town portal, so we can use another sentry there. They just try to cast a spell on my torrent shooting. We can lose the headhunter. Don't even bother trying to say it. You can see now with the sentry, this helps a lot. Is that information right there? You know now what the computer's up to, and you know how much time you have. So we're going to try to sneak around up here. Oh my god, look at that base! Can I even move through that? I'm going to have to use a speed scroll to get through that. That's a horrible base.
I'm all geared up.
Tinker's out, but unfortunately he's on the wrong side of the track, so I'm going to have to try to get him out the other way.
Engine's running.
For my ancestors, yes.
All systems go. I'm all geared up.
So yeah, it's harder when your units are all split. You can go above 80 food now if you're feeling a little bit less confident.
An excellent plan. For the time.
Level 3 heal is super good. Just going to cause a bit of ruckus here. Having items like Star for teleport is very useful for these kind of situations, so you can regroup. Might TP soon just so I can regroup everything. Not that I actually have to TP here, but I just want to get back so I can get my Goblin Tinker back in motion. And then you just constantly keep loading up on your good stuff, which is the Orc shop items, or any shop items you've got available to you, depending on what race you're playing. Load up on it like crazy, because you're going to value it big time. I'm going to put that over there because it's in the way. And we go back to the right-hand side of the map. Now, your Witch Doctors should have plenty of mana, so you can go throw a few more sentry wards out and about. Just use the shift command for that. We can lose a lot of these peons. They're doing absolutely nothing. I can either sacrifice them on the computer, but that gives the computer experience, so what I would probably do is just build a few towers. And then get the towers to kill them off. Oh, don't forget, if you build shops in multiple places, you can obviously manipulate that and get yourself lots and lots of potions and stuff. So that's all good. Off we go. So you look at each of my hero inventory slots, they're loaded up with town portals, potions. You can see the computer's getting close to my base now, so it's really important that I go attack quickly before it actually hits me. So I'm going to use a speed scroll for this one, because you do not want the computer hitting your main, because once they start hitting your main, you might not even be able to stop them. It's pretty close. Let's see what we can do. Maybe get some of them out of the way. If we are going to lose that base, then we're just going to take a bunch of peons here and start loading up backups. We got a town portal. That was one of the night elves, but not all of them. So I could TP to deal with that night elf. You see the undead's coming over to fight me, right? So always be paying attention to the minimap. So the undead comes over to me. When the undead gets a bit closer, keep them over here, keep them busy. And then I can town portal to deal with the rest of those units that are in my base. They're not the biggest threat right now, especially with those towers down there. In comes the undead forces, so we're going to TP back and go top left, because those forces have actually left us. Don't need that. This will allow me to get more units. Undead is trying to come back, as you can see, but now he's going to come to the left. See, the real key to beating computer is to get them away from you. Micro really helps a lot when you're fighting them, but generally speaking, you're just constantly trying to keep them away from your base, whether it be 1 versus 1, 1 versus 10, whatever the heck it is. It's imperative that you just keep them the heck away from your main base. Now, next TP is going to be actually on the right-hand base. Oh, hello. My heroes are getting stronger and stronger as the game progresses, which is really nice. So when they get a bit closer and it gets a bit scarier. We're going to TP over to the right-hand side. And go. So you can see the gold mine. The gold is still 3k, but I've been spending a lot on town portals and stuff, trying to keep the computer busy. Now, I would put Witch Doctor sentry wards like further across the map, but it's harder to do that because you're going to bump into the computer a lot of the time. I'm going to go hit this base over here. Use the Torrens. Bloody undead bases. It would have to be undead, wouldn't it? Trying to hit the main. Nope, town portal coming in. Move through. Clunky, clunky, clunky.
For my ancestors.
A hunker for a hank of cheese.
Use my power.
Going up to the top base.
All systems go.
There's my wyverns. I'm going to send those to the middle to try to regroup with me at some point. Aha! Here we go. This is going to be a bit better, isn't it?
Let's roll out. I can handle that.
And we can force a town portal here, almost definitely.
All systems go.
If they haven't rebuilt the base. Maybe they haven't rebuilt the base. So they're constantly trying to get the heroes out, steal from earlier. Gonna use the Tauren Chieftain to scout what's coming from behind. It's actually be quite good if the hero came out, actually. But I don't want to spend too much time. So I'm gonna just kill it and go. Yeah, because I'm gonna get flanked.
All systems go. Yeah. Engine's running. Let's roll out.
Keep moving west or down, whichever one floats your boat.
I'm all geared up.
I stand ready.
They killed my witch doctor factory, didn't they? The factory of witch doctors.
I'm all geared up.
Loads of easy kills. So this is what you're doing as well. You're just going feeding off the computer. They have units like dotted all over the map because they love to go like 80 food or more. Nighttime makes it harder because you can't see. When they're town portaling. That's why I use the one wyvern to scouts. Move down. Marketplace does have really cool items, you're right, actually. It's nice to have everything in one hotkey group, so you don't have to go too crazy. I'm going to send one of those wyverns back. We're actually getting a bit low on gold now. Town portal, but I can probably handle that. Yep, move. More coming from above. The moment you see them, just move. You can take your chances, but you don't have to. Now going here is risky because you can actually walk into the opponent, but otherwise it means going through that, and I don't want to go through that. We can check out the middle, like you say, and then actually head over here to set up another expansion, because we've lost one base, we've lost two bases. This gold mine's not going to last forever, so you kind of want to think about it from that point of view. Alright, what do we got? What do we got to buy? Let's get rid of the trash and buy only the good stuff. That's going to go on the Shadow Hunter, because mana on the Shadow Hunter is supreme. And ring is always a good time. Staff of Silence is fine, but I'm not going to bother using that all too much. So we got our factory here. Got that here. Coming over to the right hand side. Bear in mind that the computer at this point is probably thinking about moving towards my base again. If you don't keep them busy, but not long enough, they'll try to head back on over to your base. So you have limited time. This is the thing that makes it really hard in 1 versus 11. Is you want to get certain things done, but other times you're forced to sort of like essentially provoke the computer just to stop them from coming to you, even if you'd rather take that time to creep more or secure another expansion. So it's the balance of trying to get all these expansions somehow whilst dealing with the nonsense. But this is a secured expansion now at this point. We can take those back. Ah, Sentry Wars. I'll take those, thank you. That's very nice. And use that on our computer friend. Now we can set up our expansion here. If you want, you can get mass towers now. If you was like not so confident, again, mass towers if you want. But I'm going to save all of my gold for just pure units and stuff. We're going to try to flow this way because we've got 2 computers on the left-hand side. I would have liked to have gone up there, but I can't. The map does not allow. So we're going to keep moving. Keep moving down and then head west. And we can fight that in a moment, but bear in mind you've got this coming up, so you're going to pick this off. He floats. Keep moving, and then we're going to turn around and get that frost, get some of these units, because they start to move back. So when they start to move back, you take your chance. That's annoying. Sleep is good. I'm going to try to move up with you when that runs out. Keep moving. Keep moving. I do have another speed scroll. So you might not be able to see exactly what it is I'm doing, but essentially I'm just always trying to get out of trouble. As much as possible. This is why speed scrolls are OP as all heckaroo. If you don't have speed scrolls, this would be definitely tougher. And you may have to use more town portals under those circumstances, because you just can't get out of those situations. Gonna go back for the main base. The town portal's coming in again. Dang. But it's not much. They're always split. And you just pick up another hero. Head east, sorry. Try not to get webbed by anything. That's the other hard thing about computers sometimes, is having to deal with those webs, right? The web it, web it, web it. Town portal coming in. Head east. Because it's probably the furthest away from where the computer currently is located. Instead of going down. If you go down, you're going to get yourself into trouble. So effectively, level up your heroes. Keep their hero levels low. And keep them on the run. That's how you basically do it. It'll get easier as the game goes on, because the computer will make more and more mistakes, and you'll get more and more kills. Your heroes will get higher and higher level. As you can see, I'm starting to map out a bit more of the map whilst this is happening. I'm sure a better player can probably macro a little bit more efficiently than me and make more use of those witch doctors, but for the time being, this is good enough. Oh, wow, another town portal. So they're pretty good at loading up on those town portals, actually. Right, I'm going to go fight this whilst I can. Kill as much of this. If I have to TP out, I'm going to do it. But this is a lot of experience, so we're going to constantly use our things on cooldown. The sleep is hyper annoying. But you can see I can pick up basically. Oh, no. Right.
I'm all geared up.
That'll do. Didn't lose too much there. Drop this. Pick this up. Bomb, bomb, bomb. TP for you. Mana for you. Loads of mana for you. Drop that. Mana. Pick that up. Go. Speed scroll as usual. You can actually get more shops if you really want to. Because more shops just means more stuff to buy every time you come back. Pick off whatever's over here. So we've run out of gold on that side, so it's time to start getting gold over here. You can see the computer on the right hand side is starting to tally up towards the middle, so we're just going to keep them that way, away from over here. It's pretty hard to actually sort of securely finish this, because the computer is actually doing a really good job of being stubborn and not dying quite how I want it to. More town portal, oh my god. Alright, we'll just kill what we can here. I'm going to TP out. I could have TP'd over there, actually. We're going to the right-hand side. Wait, I thought I TP'd. Oh, no, that's not good when it does that. When you think you town portal, but you didn't.
What would you ask of me?
Yeah, man. Who do I kill?
I stand ready.
What you got?
Your command.
I'm all geared up.
Ready.
All systems go.
What would you ask of me?
More units are lined up. You can get like all the buffs if you want, like all the late game stuff, all the caster stuff to get a stronger unit. Yeah, Bat Riders would help a little bit with Siege, but they're so short range that they get themselves into trouble a lot. I'm still okay with this. I'm just surprised how much the computer has town portal wise.
I'm all geared up.
Are they town portaling? Yes, they are. It's always nighttime, isn't it? It feels like it's always nighttime.
I'm all geared
I got a speed, which is really handy on all of my heroes. You got to try to remember these things because you look for them sometimes and you don't have them.
Are there enemies above? What would you ask of me?
Move up.
Done.
This is, yeah, it just sucks having two undead bases, which are the nearest ones, because you really can't touch undead bases. If you've ever seen me play 1 versus 1 or 4 versus 4 RT, you know what it's like. Undead bases are just overpowered as all heck. Like they're like the ultimate defensive machines. So hard to break them. Mass slow, mass towers, just clunky. Everything about him is horrendous. This poor demon hunter's not been getting much action. Keep moving left. So this is an opportunity again, just to pick off what you see on the way. You can see the computer is on the right hand side, but there's still going to be units that are rallying. Oh, that's a lot of units there. That's probably more than I should be fighting, so we're going to come down there. You don't want to fight a big pack like that. That's a no. If it was like half the force, you could probably take it on at this stage with the heroes that you have. But I don't know too much about that. So we're going to come up to the top here. This is going to pin me in a little position, which I'm not too fond of, but... Go for the main base. Is it town portal time? It isn't. Might be an opportunity to take a base down. Well, there's the town portal. Right, it's not much to town portal with, but bear in mind that more units are going to be joining. I'm going to try to pull him over towards us before too many of the computer's forces join up. Again, you're just manipulating, picking off what you can. I mean, this comes with experience. You might not know how much you can push the computer before it sort of like backs and goes all over the place. That's long enough there that we can move, but unfortunately it doesn't put us in a position that's leading to the right direction because we're heading back to base basically. So you could try to go through the middle a little bit, back over to the right hand side, as opposed to going here, because this is still a dead end trap. I can't do enough damage at that base yet. When will they run out of gold for town portal? Not for a long time. They get double gold, don't they? So we're just going to go fight this for a second. More frostworms.
I'm all geared up.
I'll take those. Easy kills. Big experience. Go for the heroes. Get rid of that Dreadlord, he sleeps like mad. It's really annoying. And speed scroll out. Don't worry about that Wyvern if you lose it, it's not that important. I'm going to send it back to base and take it off my hotkey groups, just in case it does still survive. There's this over here. Oh, this is TP time. Might be able to kill the Tinker though. I mean, the Keeper of the Grove. TP. And heal up. And Bob's your uncle. Load up on your stuff. And go back to the right. Take you over here. Chop of the trees. Get the Kodo upgrade. All the good stuff. I might pick the Lich off here. The only downside of doing that is it does tell the computer you're in this position. But he is asking for it. You can see it actually came straight towards me. Wrecked. Come on over. You could use a speed scroll here if you want to keep moving away from your base. Because remember, you don't want to be near your base too much. The computer loves it when you're near your base. Because then they can just go straight to it if you're forced in a position where you have to get back. More levels. When I start getting Shockwave leveled up, we're going to have a good time. We've got Goblin Tinker as well. So I could have gone Shockwave actually, prioritize that. Because that would be much more effective for these hit and run tactics. I could consistently Shockwave that and the computer might not heal it all the time. Let's check the middle for some nice items. Actually, this is a transmute item, which is funny. I didn't think that was a thing, really, was it? That's actually still a thing. Can't use it on the mountain giant. Lol.
For my ancestors. We're under attack. For my ancestors.
I didn't think that was really still a thing, but there you go. Okay. I'm going to keep their attention. So what, you keep the computer's attention by basically attacking something every few seconds, ideally. If not, then, you know, tens of seconds. You want to keep the computer pinging towards where you are. So every time you attack them, they're like, oh, that's where I've got to go. That's the next place to go to. I need more Witch Doctors, because I think I lost my Witch Doctors for my Sentry Wars.
All systems go.
Oh, the Scepter of Avarice. I was wondering if it was a permanent item or not. It's not very good because I spent 300 gold to get frickin' 238 gold or something.
Order. Your command.
Right, we're going to pick off these heroes.
Hide it.
So the game just gets easier and easier, effectively. Because you're fighting against less and less. The computer struggles more and more to sort of fight you. They fight you in smaller packs. So we're going to try and get those Witch Doctor Sentry Wards out if we can. If they get killed in the process, it's not too big a deal because Witch Doctors aren't that expensive. Is there a town portal? That's the question. No, there is. I'm going to drop this so I can have one in my Tauren Chieftain's 4th spot, which is where I like to keep my speed scrolls. There's computers on the right. That's only a level 2 frost glitch, so don't get too fooled by that.
What you got?
That's better.
All systems go.
Big Deb.
I'm all geared up. Engine's running.
Again, it's nighttime.
I'm all geared up.
Is it me or is it always nighttime?
All systems go.
Nighttime more times than daytime. There's a big pack of mobs, so you got to kind of like experience will sort of help you. So you might not get this the first time round, but the more you do this, because you got to remember I've done this a lot of times, you kind of can almost feel like a sixth sense the computer's behavior, when they're going to be, where they're going to be. The only downside is I just can't do that versus players. But versus computers, I can do that pretty well.
What you got?
So you just kind of get a good feel for when's the time to move.
What would you ask of me?
I'm not going to mess around with him because he's already got shift keys. So.
All systems go.
Right, we can possibly provoke a town portal here,
Your command. We're under attack.
but it's clunky to get there.
On our
I'm going to start taking out some of these cigarettes,
I'm all geared up.
so I don't have to go through so many every time I go for a base.
Engine's running.
Time to go up, by the way, because you're going to get caught otherwise. You can actually start dropping serpent wards to actually get some vision.
Engine's running.
See? The timing was basically perfect there. If I waited just even like a second longer, I could have been hit by a frostworm.
What you got?
So you really got to just get a feel for this. And I mean, there's not too much more to explain at this point, other than just the rinse and repeat of manipulating computer AI. Left here, because you haven't got enough of a gap. You want a big gap between you and the main opposing force, and then you want to keep moving around the map so that you've got more opportunities to pick off the smaller pieces of the puzzle. You know, the hero, the few units, the air, frostworms in particular, if you get an opportunity, which wyverns can do much better. Bats can't do that, so destroying the computer's base, I could have maybe... It's potential what I could do. If I was doing like a speed run, I might have had to use bats, because then I can take out the bases. But I have to be lucky in a position that I'm not forced into a fight, because if I'm forced into a fight and I don't effectively take out the bases, oh, hot diggity dog, that's not good. Bat riders aren't going to do jack versus like those entire armies that you've seen me be fighting.
What you be craving? Right away. You seek me help? That'll be good choice, man.
Engine's running.
So computer's getting sloppy now, running out of time.
I stand ready.
We still got our backup units here.
What you be craving? Right away.
What would you ask of me?
Ooh, hello. It's actually very defensive.
Let's roll out.
For the time.
Yeah. Engine's running.
Done. For my enemy.
What you got?
Right, back. Speed scroll time. Pick off what you can and keep moving.
I'm all geared up.
Marketplace. Hey, pendant of mana. So you can get like all the cool stuff with Marketplace. Get the immunity to spells.
Engine's running. What you got?
I hear the someone.
So I'm probably going to transition to bats soon, because I think I can kill off the majority of the computer's armies.
Engine's Engines running.
None shall pass.
I'm all geared
We're
up.
under attack. Your order.
Engines running.
Your command. For my ancestors. For my ancestors.
What you got?
Use my power.
Orc is so OP.
I'm all geared up.
None shall pass. For the time.
So it's easy pickings now.
Honor guide.
All geared up. Engines running. What you got?
Honor guide.
I'm gonna put this speed scroll onto my main hero because he's the main focus that I can see. So I've always got those involved.
I'm all geared up. Engines running.
Tinker can be left at the bottom because he's like the most immune to sort of, I don't know where I'm going here,
I'm on top.
sort of like crowd control. You can do Panda though, it doesn't have to be Tinker. But I would advise a neutral hero as your third hero, for example,
For my ancestors.
I'm all geared
for
up.
most races. Because they have a lot of AoE options and stuff like that.
FYCJYIY dollar was gold. I laughed so hard, laughing face.
All geared up.
Honor guide me.
So it was a bit sketchy at points. There were moments where I actually thought, oh, the computer might take this. But I think with enough sort of manipulation, we got there. I'm actually kind of surprised how long it takes to kill that level 1 Demon Hunter with what I've got. I can definitely take that in a second. Pull it as quickly as you can over to this side before its heroes arrive. And go crazy quantity.
For my ancestors. For my ancestors. Chieftain.
What you got?
So you're just pulling units.
For the time.
Go.
Honor guide me.
Engines running.
None
Town portal, by the way, above. Speed scroll.
All systems go.
And back into fight. So it's getting easier for me to sort of stick around in fights longer. I'm getting to the point where I can probably just take this almost. But you're still playing it somewhat safe, right?
All systems go. What you got? Engines running. I'm all geared up.
Because you just don't have to be too crazy. That sleep is fun. I think it's town portal time now. Feel like we've got a little bit stuck. Bugger, wrong one. That's what I wanted. Thank you.
Where enemies be
I
hiding.
stand ready. An excellent plan.
Who do I kill first?
Yeah, that looks good.
I hear the
All systems go.
Farseer is fine for Earthquake, but remember, you've got to stick around for long, and
All geared up.
there haven't really been many moments where I can just stand still for long. Even at this level now, you can still see I'm moving,
What you got?
attacking, moving, attacking, moving. So you've got to stand still with Farseer for Earthquake. Shockwave is much better, so we're going to get level 10 soon, and then I can start blasting through these
Engines running.
undead bases.
hiding.
I'm
And
all geared up.
Goblin Tinker Rockets are doing a nice job.
What you got? Engines running. All systems go.
Going to be a bit greedy here and just try to kill what I can.
All geared up.
This is where I'm getting a bit more impatient. If this was earlier in the game, I'd just be running. We can speed scroll now. They just dispelled that speed scroll. So well played by the computer. A human player wouldn't have done that. Not as quickly as that.
For my ancestors.
So the speed scroll being dispelled on one of my main heroes is definitely problematic. Luckily the Frostworm pulled back at the last moment.
My ancestors were completely charming.
Engines running.
Don't worry too much about trying to keep like one unit alive. Or if a unit gets focused. A lot of players do that in 4 versus 4 RT or something. They get like one unit get focused and they pull back their entire army just to get killed.
All geared up.
It's insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
I stand
All systems go.
More items. I can get a Frostwell.
What would you ask of me?
That's a bit better. Scepter of Avarice. Oh, thanks.
He's running.
Thanks, Mr. Illidan. How is he so tanky?
Done.
I'm all geared up.
You're level 1.
What would you
What you got?
done?
All systems go.
Yes, Chieftain. For my
All
ancestors,
systems go.
I stand.
I'm all geared up.
Under attack!
On top. I can handle
Computers always have these potions as well. That's why they're harder to kill than they look.
running.
They're always chugging a potion or something.
All systems go.
Yes,
Bloody hell.
Geared up.
under attack!
Actually hitting my base. They're getting impatient. But so am I.
Engine's running.
I think I'm strong enough to take them now. So we're just going to go max up our units.
I'm all geared up.
Which is going to be fun unit hotkey wise, but
All
it's all
systems
part
go.
and parcel.
Man,
Let's see if we can get everything lined up.
of me.
Engine's running. I'm all geared up. What you got? Engine's running. I'm all geared up.
Is Blade Master a bad choice? Not necessarily, but
All systems go.
he doesn't have many opportunities to attack without making himself hyper vulnerable.
All the time.
Engine's running. What you got? I'm all geared up.
Should have done that when I was at 100 food, but I wanted to just get the Frostwell. Alright, time to back off, I think. Picked off a heck of a lot there. Time to regroup.
Our enemies are under attack. I am one.
How may I serve?
I'm all geared up.
Be hiding. Move faster. Direct my blade. Right.
What would you ask of me?
All systems go. Yeah, baby. What you got? I'm all geared up. The engine's running.
Who do I kill first? We be German. Yeah, man. Tazdingo, man.
What you got?
Be my next victim. Use my
It's a pretty big fight.
I can do that.
We can proxy mine now.
Running.
hiding. I hear the summons.
So, where's my other units? Did any of them make it?
Hear the summons.
Speak, Chieftain.
What you be craving?
I stand
I'm all
order.
geared up.
I've been playing it a little conservative this game. It might not seem like it, but I have been.
Next victim.
But as you can see, as the game goes on longer and longer, I get a bit more risky.
What you got?
What you will be happy to. Work. I can do
All
that.
systems go.
I need orders.
I'm all geared up.
Fire. I stand my call. Direct me. What would you
All systems go.
Oh, shizzle. That's cheating.
Engine's running.
So we know this guy's far away, so we can go take this, because I'm 100% confident I can take him, and he can't. No one can town portal to save him as well, which is nice.
I'm all geared up. Systems go. What you got?
They can come in and town portal soon. So this is like free food for now. You can just let your units sort of roll can do what they're going to do. I don't have to have this fight, but I'm pretty confident I can do it. I'm going to use the invul now. There's a reason why I wasn't using that for quite a long time. Because now is a really good time to do it. Because they can't do jack shite about it. But if you blow it too early, they can just sleep it or whatever. So you're waiting your time. So now we've got to this stage, we can just replace any units that die with Bat Riders, so we can finish this off a bit quicker. This computer's not going to leave. They're going to be stubborn as heck. Jammy Demon Hunter. I got a bit too zealous trying to take down the Demon Hunter.
Direct me. Use manpower. Yes, Lord.
Use the Dragon Spawn, boy. Yeah, go on now. Lol. He's out. I need spare peons. Get mining. Because we do need that gold mine back. Which is why I prioritize this. I think this is basically it. Like I said, the game was over quite a long time ago in many aspects, providing I don't make mistakes. Now it's much easier to siege through these bases. Get the spirit link, so it's harder for the towers to focus your units down, because the computer can do that. And we're just going to go through this. The computer will build some forces up. They'll keep coming. But you just keep picking them off every time they do. Ugh, it's amazing how much it keeps coming up with. Now, let's finish this. Looks on point. Everything's level 10 now. And the computer is just down for the count. So you can see how much gold I got after all of this. So there's a reason why you don't go above that 80 food as well. At least in the earlier stages, because I wouldn't have had the gold for this. I would have been like way more broke than having 5 gold left. Bat Riders in hotkey control 6 at the moment. Demon Hunter's back. Let's deal with that. You know, I'm missing Kagga's Pipe of Insight. I guess aura items don't drop on time, otherwise I would have seen them by now on, like, the marketplace. If you can get keg as part of Insight, that's super good for like these kind of situations. Oh, did you just pick up one of my units? You cheeky buggers. Computer's just literally feeding now. But I've already got triple level 10, so it's not much to feed. We are basically just going around now, picking off everything we can. The Acolytes might try to rebuild though, so try to prioritize getting all these buildings that can produce them.
Who'll be my next big step?
Ready.
Under attack.
Engine's running.
I stand ready.
Use my power. Use my power.
I'm all geared up.
Just a couple of my Bat Riders.
Engine's running. On top. What you got? I'm all geared up. Systems go. Engine's running.
He's like, I don't know where to go now.
We're under attack.
Engine's running.
They can still mana burn me when I'm in Goblin Rocket. I mean, are you kidding me? Why is Demon Hunter so fun?
Engine's running.
What's next? Entangle?
All geared up. All systems go. All systems go.
Yes, Lord Chief.
What you got?
Can we nerf Demon Hunter already? Is that allowed? Is that a thing we can do? I don't even think the computer has the resources to build their units much anymore. Because they would have been burning a lot through this whole process.
What would you ask?
I'm all geared up. I'm all geared up.
Oh, I forgot. You can't actually see the thing. If I do that, maybe it shows you my hotkeys or something like that. Oh, I've got it labelled up at the moment.
Engine's running.
For Haley!
Engine's running.
No.
Systems go. Let's roll out. What you got? All geared up. Engine's running. Systems go. What you got? I'm all geared up.
Only 900 gold there. That's it. I don't think there's any gold left on the map. So I kind of did need to finish things up, really.
Geared up.
Seal the deal first as a computer before I run out of resources. That's another way to lose to them. Of course, there might be creeps left on the map you can still do for gold. But they're not going to give that much. Let's try this one.
Running.
I bet someone would have said I could have used that Scepter of Avarice on
What you got?
an Acolyte or something so I could rebuild properly that way. It's okay, man. It's okay. This map's really cool. It's like a market square. How much would pillage? Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, at this stage you could farm the computer. I mean, you already kind of have one though, but you could use pillage, theoretically. But you'd have to have raiders for that. Don't think my shaman have enough mana to keep bloodlust and everything. Again, that's why the keggers come in handy. gonna get more Bat Riders. I was thinking of getting Shaman so I could keep the Bloodlust going. You could actually kill off your own units if you wanted, but I wouldn't do that now. You can kill off your units, go underneath 50 food or whatever. Replace all the Wyverns with bats, that kind of thing. Soak up the gold mines. But Wyverns are still going to do good damage anyway. Still takes 5 minutes to kill a mountain giant with a 100 food army. Triple level 10 heroes. Seems balanced. Screw Night Elf, by the way. Damn overpowered race. Right, I'm going to basically just attack move now at this stage. And I'm going to BRB quickly. So back in a bit.
Gold mine has collapsed.
They're there already. And now we got the last undead base to finish off, which should be pleasurable now at this stage. Goblin Tinker helps with this actually, doesn't he? With his extra damage to buildings. Yeah, that's hit the Frostwell. Can't believe that was 700 gold for that Avarice one, right? Where it just sells the unit. So you're spending 700 gold to sell a unit. Even if you use that on a Frostwell, that's 385 gold. You remove the enemy's unit, you get 238 gold for it, so it kind of pays, in a sense, for itself. If you really wanted to get rid of that Frostwell. Well, I got my Bat Riders back. Proxy. What I could have done is set up a bunch of Witch Doctor wards, but I don't think the computer's sort of hidden any buildings now. I think what we've got is what we've got, basically, at this stage. So, to reiterate, get an expansion, build yourself up, hero, keep the enemy heroes low by not losing units effectively. Easier said than done, but every time you lose a unit, that computer's leveling up, and it's going to be harder to kill level 5 to level 10 heroes than it is to kill level 1 to level 3 heroes, which is what a computer typically is. Boom. And that'll do it. Always keep the computer on the run. Always Always keep them on the run. And typically, you want to kind of get a little bit lucky in a way and hope that the computer doesn't attack you at the start of the map. Sometimes that can happen. If they do, then just sort of start it again. But go for a bit of a period where you're creeping, getting items, and then when you've got like 50 food at least, then you can start to play around with the computer. Because like I said, once you... What is it? What's the like the phrase? Once you open up that can of pickles, you can't once you open up like the tube of toothpaste, you can't put the toothpaste back in. That's a better one. So basically, yeah, you tick off the computer. The computer's going to be looking for you. If it wasn't beforehand, it's definitely looking for you now. So you've got to be aware that you always want to keep the computer's attention once you start attacking them. Otherwise, they're just going to go straight to your base. After like 10-15 seconds, they're going to get a new command to go to your base. So you need to be hitting them like every 10 to 15 seconds, ideally. GG! Triple hero, of course, because it gives you maximo control O. So you can see in total the computer only got to kill this many units, which is a fraction of what I got to kill. So that keeps their hero levels nice and low. So they were basically up to level 3 maximum. So that's where you want them. You don't want them any higher than 3, really. Lower than that if you can. This guy managed to get a hero kill. Oh yeah, I lost the Tinker, didn't I think. And there's the gold. And the hole. GG.